Let's talk about yet another individual who died in police custody under incredibly suspicious and growing more suspicious conditions. This is Ronald Greene. So the 49-year-old, the death remains shrouded in secrecy because state police have declined to release body camera footage related to the May 2019 chase north of Monroe, Louisiana. Troopers say it began when Greene failed to stop for an unspecified traffic violation. We have a photo of the individual here. His family, as is so often the case, now engaged in a years-long struggle to even find out what actually happened. The family says that authorities initially claimed that he died after crashing into a tree, but admitted what state police now acknowledges was the struggle preceding his death. The lawsuit, drawing on witness accounts, alleges officers pinned him to the ground and used a stun gun on him, even after he apologized for leading them on a chase. Now, Gary, I know that this is a case that you've been talking quite a bit about. So, I mean, in what ways is this similar and different from the other many individuals who have died in similar circumstances over the past few years?
So Ronald Greene was driving away from police, and he runs off the road. And like you said, they say that he died in a car accident, is what they tell his parents. When they examine his body, they find out he was tased 3 times, right? They find out that he was in an altercation, and there's body cam or dash cam footage to this audio as well that has been concealed for over a year, right? And this isn't a local issue. This is the governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards, who his state police officers did this, right? Same state police that we found out a year or months later that a state trooper used the N-word when referring to another deputy, and that story broke, right? So there's a culture in policing, not just at the local level with city police and sheriff's deputies, but even state troopers here. And what needs to happen is Governor Edwards said to the AP News yesterday that he had not yet seen the video. Number one, the governor needs to watch the video. Number two, the governor needs to fire the officers who lied in police reports and said something that took place things that took place that did not take place, because the medical report just shows that. And there needs to be a full look at where state police is. This footage should be seen by everyone in this state, because it is a problem that we as taxpayers fund these cameras to be on these cars and on these officers so that we can see what happens in critical incidents. And then when these incidents happen, the government holds the tape for a year. Yep. And so if what took place is what officers say took place, then show us what's on the video, right? And so John Bel's a Democrat that was elected by a majority black vote in Louisiana. And so he has an obligation, and he's a lawyer. He has an obligation to the law and to the people who put him in office to bring us transparency and justice if these officers indeed murdered Ronald Greene, which is what all of these reports show. And so after talking to the attorneys and finding out more about this situation, I'm deeply concerned. And I hope that the governor is, with all speed and diligence, going to give some transparency to the people of Louisiana, because if we can't trust what's supposed to be the highest policing agency in our state, then we can't trust any of it.
Yeah. I mean, even if it was resolved tomorrow, it's been a year and a half. Like I can't imagine what that must have been like for the family. I had a woman on the show a couple of weeks ago who it's been about a year and a half, I think. Her brother was killed by police in Austin. It had been taped by like a reality show that was following the cops around. They only found out about that tape like a year later, and the tape had already been destroyed. Of course, as is so often the case. I mean, there's things that happen. Like we throw around the term common sense. If they have footage of it and they say, no, we didn't do anything wrong, and you say, well, I want to see the footage, and they say no, what reasonable person doesn't think, oh no, there's gotta be something on that video? I mean, or when they turn off the camera, like a reasonable person has only one reaction to that. That's unacceptable. No, if you're not, okay, you don't have to show us the tape. Okay, you're all fired, you're all under arrest. Like clearly you've done something that you think we could not see and not have a negative reaction to you. And yet it just goes on. Rahm Emanuel in that tape, was it a year and a half for that tape as well? Like, you don't get to conceal the tapes. You just don't. They're not yours. We pay for that budget. It's not like you guys raised that money. We bought you all that stuff. Those body cameras are on you. We bought them. It's our footage. We get to see what it is. And unfortunately, America has become so placid in regard to its law enforcement, especially the big percentage that law enforcement was set up to protect their interests above all others and to brutalize everyone else, that we don't expect to have any control over that. Yeah, the cops get to do whatever they want. They're probably being honest. They probably have a good reason for concealing this footage of the death of an individual for a year and a half. It's insanity. It's just insanity.
There is no good reason to conceal what takes place on body cam footage. This is a public records issue. We have a right to see what took place. And like you said, we fund these body cameras. And for John Bel, as a Democrat governor, right? Here's a test, brother. You can tell us about Alton Sterling in 2016 and your sympathy when it happened and it was the Baton Rouge police officers. You can give sympathy to the family of Trayford Pellerin in Lafayette when it's the Lafayette Police Department. But these are state troopers under his care. And put into consideration also that John Bel Edwards' father, grandfather, and his brother were sheriffs of Tangipahoa Parish. Wow. So this is and who understands policing. He comes from a policing family, and we need a governor who is going to defend all of the people, not just the people with badges on.
Yeah, it could not be farther from not too much to ask. Like, it's nothing. It should be the bare minimum. The footage should be immediately made available. Immediately.
There should be laws, John, that within 48 hours of a critical incident, that anytime these incidents happen where there's body cam, dash cam, or audio, that within 48 hours, the general public has the ability to see that footage. Because when the government kills a citizen, it should have to answer for what it does when it kills a citizen, because we are paying the officers and we have in essence paid the government to kill us. And that is a problem.
Yeah, and if it's inconvenient, if you're a police department and you worry that there's gonna be a big protest after the tape comes out, stop killing people. Super simple solution.
It ain't hard. And you have to ask yourself the question, why do we not find so many videos of how they handle white people the same way? Why are we not finding 12-year-old white kids with toy guns like Tamir Rice? Why are we not finding stories where white men are running away and shot in the back? Why are we not finding videos of white men or white women with knees on their necks for 9 or 10 minutes? You know why? They know they can't get away with killing white people like that.
Yeah.
They know that if they kill a white citizen, he or she better had had a weapon and better had been a threat to the officers' lives. And when there is a clear example of someone being a threat to officers' lives, there is not protest. There is no outcry, because this is not an attempt to say we want officers harmed. What we're saying is, after police interactions, we want the officer to go home and we want the citizen to go home. And if the citizen broke a law, we want them to go to jail and allow the court system to deal with them the same way you allow the courts to deal with Darlin Roof after he killed 9 black people at Great Emmanuel Church in Carolina. That's what we want to see happen. We want equal treatment under the law instead of being treated like second-class citizens. And when we've got Democrat governors, and he appointed this head of state police now, John. So this is all on John Bel Edwards. And he has to answer to the people of Louisiana for what's taking place with state police here.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.